Hello and welcome to For Wales, See Wales with me, Mel Owen.
Me, Robin Morgan.
Me, Will Hayward.
Guys, how are we? I'm less sweaty this week, I'll be honest with you.
I'm glad for you and for me.
Yeah.
It's been hot. It's been hot.
Hot. Not to be like normal British summer, but I'm coping better.
It's colder at night. I think that helps.
Sure.
I think when it cools down at night, you get a bit of respite.
Yes. Respite.
Welsh for respite.
Respite, actually, yeah. I mean, you've been in the Welsh part of Wales.
No, I was in Carnarvon.
Yes, you're a covey now.
I tried to dazzle them with my Duolingo and said what I thought was the Welsh word for milk, but it turns out that's the South Wales word.
Did you go
for
five?
Milk. I did.
Did they chase you with pitchforks?
Do you know what? Everyone was really, really lovely to me. I think I was sufficiently humble at my lack of Welsh.
Sure. What were you doing up there?
I was talking about my book at an event.
Was it at Gwyl Arall?
It was indeed.
Oh, that's good. Do you know what? I haven't been for a while, actually, but it's a good... Carnarvon do a good festival.
And also, your friend of mine, Tidde Owen, did the...
Tidde.
Dad.
Yeah.
All our dads.
He's all our dads. He's the father of the nation.
I feel like I shouldn't say this because my dad does listen to this, but he is like a funny father figure.
He is funny. I made a joke about it once on What Just Happened, and my mum was in the audience, and my mum hated it because she was like, everyone's going to think I'm a right slapper.
Right.
Because I was just there like, do you know my mum? And he was like, hi again. And my mum was like, don't do that.
Great.
Yeah.
Great fun.
It was great fun. Mum didn't enjoy it.
No. Well, good for her.
Yeah, I do this quite a lot. Like, I look so obviously like my dad. I think it's funny. But I'll always be like, oh, and this is my dad, apparently.
Yeah.
Me and my dad find it hilarious. My mum's like, what does that say about me? What does that say about me?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It sounds to me like your mum is the victim of some kind of establishment stitch-up, and I think she should call an immediate by-election.
This is very good.
So good. Do you know what? It's one of the many similarities she has with Nigel Farage. I think let's dig into it. I didn't expect to bring this up on the podcast, but now that we have compared my mum to Nigel Farage, and I think for the purposes of this story, my mum is a black woman. Okay, my mum is a woman of Jamaican heritage, and she's got really into the World Cup of late.
Okay.
Very, very into the World Cup, to the point where like she's got a lot of comments to make. You know,
she's got World Cup fever.
Oh, she's got World Cup fever hard, right? And she's a world expert on who should be sent off and who should be brought on and all that. Loves it, right? I was around the house the other day and she was watching one of the England matches. I want to say England-Mexico, where they play Mexico. And I was in another room and I could hear my mum shouting.
I'm so excited for this.
I just could hear my mum shouting, where are all the whites?
Where are all the whites?
Where are all the whites? I can't see any white. What she meant was the England players, because they wear white, right? And I was in the living room going...
Your Jamaican mum's going, but Bukayo Saka doesn't look very British to me.
Literally. And I was like... Mum, and I went, she was like, there are no England players, look at them, get into spaces, guys, get into spaces. And I was like, thank God.
So funny.
Thank God. Hate the fact she's an England fan now, but also we can deal with that later.
Where are all the whites? Your dad going, hello. Call for me to make a cup of tea.
Ooh, she has a type.
She doesn't. But also, a proper guy with nothing, Nigel Farage has stood down. What's
Yeah, what's the link? It's weird.
What is that link?
Let's try and sum this up. So Nigel Farage has resigned his seat in Clacton to trigger a by-election in Clacton so he can run in Clacton to avoid a parliamentary standards watchdog investigation into a £5 million gift, which could result in a by-election if in Clacton.
Right.
Right, so what's happening? Well, because I didn't understand any of that.
Nigel Farage was under a great deal of pressure because of a £5 million donation that he definitely took, which he admits to taking.
Was that illegal or was it...
It wasn't illegal. There's no suggestion that it was illegal, but the failure to declare it,
Oh, I see.
some would argue, is against parliamentary rules. There's also another investigation into links to another man who's a convicted criminal who's been given him...
Posh George.
Posh George.
And Posh George's mama.
And...
Oh, it's a bit like... So what, him and his mum?
Apparently Fiona George, or Posh Fiona, we don't know what she's called.
Yeah.
Also donated to Reform, I think, the Times reported, allegedly as well. So I think Posh George and his mum.
Bit like, and I can't wait to see who in our listeners falls within this Venn diagram. Sean Kingston and his mum both went to prison for fraud as well.
That's in
very good.
Yes. I can't wait to... If you understand both of these things, please do comment because you're my people.
Yeah. Great song.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Very good song.
It's toxic though. it makes me suicidal when you say that it's over. Now, I've been in some tough relationships, but I think if you feel suicidal because she doesn't like you anymore, go to therapy.
Yeah.
Don't put that on her shoulders.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
And don't defraud her.
Don't get your mum involved.
Don't get your mum to defraud your partner.
No.
Carol, can you add a Sean Kingston tag to the podcast, please? Just in case anyone's Googled.
He probably needs the money. He could probably do the theme tune for this week.
Imagine.
So,
Yeah.
Farage was under a lot of scrutiny, and it looked like the result of the investigation will result in a by-election. So he, as I understand, he wanted to get ahead of the.
Yeah, you can't fire me. I quit.
Yeah,
one of those ones.
And what he really wanted to do was to have a by-election against the Tories, Labour, all the parties.
Yeah.
And he wanted to win
establishment,
clearly, because in all likelihood he would win that.
Yeah.
And he wanted to be able to say, well, the people of Clacton haven't got an issue with me, and it was a way of kind of getting ahead of consequences, basically. But
he still would have been investigated, right? That would have just paused the investigation, but then from his point of view, it wouldn't have stopped that investigation.
It wouldn't have stopped that investigation. But then there could have just been another by-election. He would feel like he is in a
vindicated.
Also it's a summer where Burnham is coming in. By the time you listen to this on a Thursday, Burnham might have been
pretty sure locked in, right? No nominations closed on the Thursday, right? So,
but nominations, I think, have closed. I think on Thursday there are affiliate nominations, but there's not expected to be any shenanigans.
So he'll be the leader, but he won't be PM yet because he's not met the king yet.
I don't know the exact formal process. I imagine they'll have everything lined up, but by the time
he's the number 10. When does he move in? When does Starmer get out? Ooh. I love when does the removal?
Do you think he leaves it in a key safe or just with the estate agent?
Yeah, just pop it under the mat.
I know this isn't the point, but do you reckon they changed the mattress? Because do you know what I mean? He's going to get in. So Keir's left that morning.
Yeah.
He's going in there just your mattress moulds to you, right? Sure. And he's literally lying in Keir Starmer's bed. Weird.
Do you think my glasses? It's fine.
Yeah, it's true. It always fits perfectly in.
But then Keir was lying in Rishi, who was lying in Liz, who was lying in Boris.
At what point you're changing the mattress, right? You're flipping it at least. You're meant to flip it every year, aren't you?
Yeah, the mattress, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Memory foam's a bit different.
Okay, fair. Well, Andy Burnham can let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could. Yeah, that's our one question to him. The first time you get to interview him, could that please be your first?
I'll pass on you.
Did you get a new Helix delivered?
Mel asked where all the whites were.
Yeah.
All in fucking number 10, that's where.
So, Farage wanted to have a really visible victory and also overshadow a lot of the Burnham stuff over the summer of kind of this victory, would control the narrative. And
more for optics than anything helpful, I suppose.
He loves a summer sort of PR move, doesn't he? The last 2 years there's been loads of race riots and he's been sort of quite vocal in terms of kind of things like that, hasn't he?
Reform have been better than Labour over the last couple of years about holding the narrative during the summer.
When the recess stops and when the machine kind of slows down.
Farage
is kind of this is my time.
At the start of recess, they're like, right, we're going to try and just control the narrative over the summer when all the other MPs, God, I'm so Welsh.
He loves Wales so much.
Are on holiday. But the other parties have not played ball. They said, look, we're not going to stand in this. Even Restore said they weren't going to stand. But one man did. Well, when I say man, what I mean is kind of Space Lord. So Count Binface is going to stand. In all likelihood, Farage will win. But it is now pretty much a one-on-one fight. I mean, Lawrence Fox is also involved, but God, less about him.
Give it a fucking break, Lawrence.
Also, if he's going to do anything, which he won't, it will be probably splitting Farage's vote a tiny, tiny, tiny bit.
So he's going up against Farage, who I'd have thought he would be wetting himself over.
Is Farage too woke for Lawrence Fox?
Maybe.
He's one of those, right?
Yeah, true.
So he's got Lawrence Fox is obviously going to get all the divorced dad vote, right?
All of them.
Yeah.
Farage is essentially in a one-on-one fight with a bin.
I mean, that is objectively quite funny, isn't it?
Sometimes I do love our country.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And this is one of them.
It is silly, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. It's like Boaty McBoatface again. And yet again, we're kind of like, who should we put up against Nigel Farage? Should we put a bin?
Are they going to have hustings? Are they going to have question time? Are they going to have...
Well, this is the challenge that Farage has got, because really this is an issue for him, because there's only one scenario here which is good for him, and that's that he wins like overwhelmingly. He wins with a good turnout. Anything less, even if he wins, but it's in any way close, even if the Count gets...
I love that we're discussing this.
We're going to come to the Count's policies in a bit.
Sure.
And we're also going to talk about how this applies to Wales, just to be clear. But if the count gets 30% of the vote, that is so embarrassing for Farage. And I think there's a couple of reasons why I think this is actually could be more challenging for Farage than people think. The first one is, the first thing to say is it's so funny that there's clearly people in Reform scrambling to try and get something on Count Binface.
You know how Black Americans felt about O.J. Simpson? They were like, no, he's our hero. Please do not take him away from us. Mm-hmm. I feel like that with Count Binface now. I'm like, please tell me he didn't slap somebody in the arse in the 70s. Like, please.
Tweet something like, where are all the whites?
Yeah, exactly. Or shout it out of a window.
Echoing in the
windows
bin.
were open. It's been a hot couple of days. I reckon that the breeze took that horrible sentence and took it down the road.
It's like the people of Mid Wales go, well, thank God Donna said it eventually, so we can now. I take that back. I love the people of Mid Wales. Thank you so much.
I actually think that the Count is actually a perfect unity candidate, because imagine if the Tories, Labour, Lib Dems had all said, actually, we're going to put forward one candidate to try and beat Farage.
Yeah.
It would have probably made most sense for it to be a Tory because they came second in the general election in that seat. But there are going to be Labour, Green voters who just could never put their ex in a Tory box, could they? But Count Binface, like, nobody is probably kind of ideologically opposed to bins, because he describes himself as an independent space warrior. But I think that actually there's a lot of people who will be more inclined to vote for him than they would be an actual politician to try and oppose Farage.
It's hard for Farage to say, I am the anti-establishment candidate, when the other person on the ballot
Say his name.
is Lord Count Binface. It's hard to sort of say,
Mel's going.
Do you know what I mean?
It's so stupid.
Isn't it? It's so stupid.
It's the bit.
But it's so serious, and he's tried to sort of like, it's backfired so badly for him. But it's like, oh, we're going to put two fingers up to the establishment, and now he's going toe to toe with a bin and a Fathers for Justice former actor.
So I think that the fact that there's little jeopardy really hurts Farage and really helps the bin. So like if you're a Reform voter, we know that one of the biggest drivers of people turning out in elections is the feeling of jeopardy and the feeling that, like, this could matter. If you're a Reform voter, you probably can't imagine a world where Farage loses to a bin.
Sure.
But if you are a supporter of Count Binface, you are probably very opposed to Farage. And so the motivation for the Binface faction is probably stronger than the Farage faction. I think the other thing is, imagine if we get close to polling day and there's a hint that it could be close. Reform are going to have to say to their supporters, we need you to turn out, else people are going to vote
for the bin.
For a bin.
Yeah, that is embarrassing, isn't it? Because you don't want to engage in it. You just want to sort of, because I think that's what he's been doing in all these interviews. Like, and I've seen Richard Tice doing the rounds, sort of saying, oh, the establishment are running scared. This is why the main parties aren't putting them candidates up, to avoid the question of how are you going to defeat a bin.
I'm just going to advocate for the devil. There will be people who would perhaps say that, this is showing that only Reform are taking our politics seriously and do want to do this, and that because nobody else is, that he's the only one taking it seriously. And that for some people who feel disenfranchised and left behind, they were like, well, see, yet again, he's the one speaking for us and standing up.
Totally.
But then I do think there is something brilliant in going, we're not even going to honour this with a serious response. Like, you are literally the MP. You've thrown a tantrum.
Do your job.
Yeah. How about you do that? And if you have to stand against the bin, because that's
the punishment.
Yeah.
If you resign as an MP and then stand again immediately, costing the taxpayer what, 200 grand,
and the rest.
Yeah, I've seen the vox pops of people in Clacton, and basically, it was on the beam, so I think they would show it 50-50. But there were some people who are like, like he's, he can't be trusted. But some people going, well, the establishment are out to get him. I would vote for him if he committed a crime. So I think he has that same sort of Trumpian support where, if you like him, nothing will stop you voting.
But that's why they've got a ceiling, and that's why they can't win in Wales, but it's why they can win under the awful first past the post system. But shall we talk about serious stuff, and shall we look at Count Binface's manifesto? So he hasn't got a specific Clacton manifesto yet, but he has had some continuous policies which have been with him for quite a while. He's going to nationalise Adele. He's going to abolish VAR. I actually really said that. Yeah. He's going to build at least one affordable house. It's good.
More than some local authorities have done.
He's going to force cyclists who break the highway code to ride unicycles. He is going to conscript people who play music loudly on public transport. He's going to change HS2 to FFS, and he's going to redirect it to go through the homes of rail executives.
Oh, nice.
Similarly, he's going to require water company bosses to swim in the polluted rivers.
Yeah.
He's bringing back CFAX. He's going to rename London Bridge Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Oh, okay. No, I can get on. Yeah.
He's going to ban loud snacks in cinemas. I'm totally behind that.
I'm so behind that. I love a Dorito, okay? But why am I listening to it when I'm trying to watch Toy Story 5?
Restore the price of 99 flakes to 99p.
Yeah, great.
I respect it.
He's going to bankrupt the country.
But, Will, where does he stand on small boats?
Where's the magic money tree? Yeah, so a serious man for serious times.
And Count Binface.
Ooh,
bit of work.
So what does this mean for Wales?
Have we ever had sort of joke candidates? Not suggesting the Count is a joke candidate. Have we ever had
We
joke
speak about Mike Hedges.
Sorry.
Very harsh.
Justice for Neil Hamilton.
Yeah, no, but sort of we haven't had like on election night. We've not had like someone dressed up as Elmo. We don't have Monster Raving Loony Party in Wales, do we?
Oh, we had Captain Beanie.
Captain Beanie.
We have.
Yeah,
had
no,
Captain
sorry,
Beanie. Yeah,
never.
true. Met him.
When I worked on the reboot of Blind Date with Paul O'Grady, he was a contestant. He was behind the wall as one of the suitors.
As Captain Beanie.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
The man's got tattoos of beans on his face, Mel. He can't.
Yeah, they are. You can't go. For anybody who doesn't know Captain Beanie, he a lovely gentleman.
Yeah.
A lovely gentleman lives in
Port
Talbot, has transformed his flat into a baked bean museum.
Quite similar to sort of Count Binface in the sense that I think he's an extraterrestrial. I think he's and I think he started doing maybe charity work sitting in a bath full of beans.
Sounds pretty establishment to me.
Yeah.
And then has become the bean.
And has really, I think, enjoyed the
Profile.
but I think enjoying the charity stuff as well.
The feel of the beans against his skin.
I think so, yeah.
I just Googled the Monster Raving Loony Party. In the Bangor Conway Morn seat, the Monster Raving Loony Party stood Sir Grumpus Lashorticus.
Oh, forgive me then. That's bad. I didn't know that.
You know, we don't have apart from Captain Beanie, we don't have a figure like Count Binface. And I wonder if it's because our democracy is still so young.
Yeah. Don't
And
take the piss.
Yeah, we're still trying to find our feet, guys. Can you give us a minute?
Yeah,
you know?
before we start to subvert it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, what does this mean for Wales, please, Will? What's the bin going to do for us?
Wrestle this back. I think it depends. So if Farage was to lose his seat in Clacton, I'm not saying I think that's going to happen, but I don't think it's impossible it could happen. It depends on momentum, but I think overall he will keep his seat. But if he was to lose it, I would imagine that the Reform group in the Senedd would disintegrate almost immediately. I think because you're going to have people at the top of the party in a UK context fighting for who gets to replace Farage. It'd be like Zia Youssef, it'd be Richard Tice, Robert Jenrick would be all gunning.
Sorry to interrupt. I think it was a couple of Sundays ago, Jenrick on the Sunday shows. I think it was the day that the Posh George story came out, and the tagline that he said, "It's not illegal for Nigel to have friends," which I really, really enjoyed. It was almost like he's weaponising my property portfolio against me.
It's not illegal to have friends.
Nigel's allowed to have friends.
Male friendships are very important.
It's very important.
They are.
None of my friends give me money.
No. I always do. I have a go at guys for golf. I'm always like, just go on a walk with your friends and talk. You don't have to involve a ball.
Sure.
And he did that, and unfortunately just involved donations. Sure, okay, he's trying.
Better than being lonely.
It is better than being lonely. The male loneliness epidemic. I mean, sometimes you meet men like Nigel Farage, you're like, some of them could be lonelier. But go on.
I think the more likely scenario in Clacton is that Farage is weakened. I mean, he's clearly not in a good place in terms of like his messaging. But maybe it's real anger, maybe it's fabricated anger, but he's suffering under scrutiny now, isn't he? And
the ripple effects will be felt here. Like even like the optics of him on the night of the results, he's going to have to stand in a leisure centre, him in a bin.
If he loses, he won't be there. He will not go. If he's losing, he won't stand next to a bin after he's lost.
You saw like Dan Thomas having to come out and bat for him. During the media, saying that like it was fine, like we've all got friends, would we take money from friends, whatever. I can't see that. We talked about Reform being an effective opposition because they've got the numbers. I can't see them lasting this term at all in Wales. I really, really can't.
Well, the thing is, I kind of describe them as they're a bunch of polarised magnets, and the only thing holding them all together is Farage as the glue.
Well, it's the same as Boris as the Conservatives. People voted for Boris. People voted for Farage. The amount of people that your newsletter would have spoken to, like, oh, I'm going to vote for Farage. He's not standing, but I'm voting for him. As soon as you lose him, who do you fucking get? Neil Hamilton back?
In Wales, I think the group will split into kind of three kind of factions. So I think you'll have the kind of Farage loyalists like Clear Powell, Welsh Dave, who will basically be loyal while Farage is leader. If Farage is leader, they are like behind him. You then have the kind of ambitious gravy train riders who have probably got a job with pay that they'd never get in the real world. I could see those guys wanting to maximise the return on their time in office, and I could see them going to Restore. I could totally see a scenario where that happens. And then you've got, like how I described, like the sensibilites. So the people there are people who within Reform in the Senate who have looked at Wales and thought there are real issues here we need to deal with, and see Reform as a vehicle for doing that.
Sure.
And they've gone into politics to try and change things. Now, you can argue that their solutions to changing things aren't, you might disagree with them, but they have identified issues and they genuinely want to try and tackle them, and they saw Reform as a way to do it. I could see them either sitting as independents or some of them going to the Tories.
Yeah.
I understand the Tories would take them, but they wouldn't take anyone who was formerly in the Tories.
Interesting.
So once they have someone back.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow like a returning defector.
Which 2000s R&B song was "I Don't Want You Back"?
Oh, but they were the ones where they did the
text.
It was
texting on the
yeah.
XL.
It was the guy first, wasn't it? And then Frankie replied with
Frankie
F you
replied,
right back.
yeah, with a arguably better song
Oh,
actually.
definitely.
Yeah,
Just
that
nice
was
little
the
niche
song.
references for the people who also enjoyed Sean Kingston.
Exactly.
Apparently, though, that wasn't coordinated either.
No, but they were exes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the original man called?
The original man.
You know the yeah.
You made me do this.
Yes. Yes.
Hated that.
You made me do this.
That's how it ended, wasn't it?
And then she just talked about how bad he was in bed.
Yeah.
That's
What
great
is
to
this?
put that to a beat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eamon.
Eamon.
Denied that Frankie was his former girlfriend and said the involvement in the song was limited to granting licensing permission.
And then Frankie was like, no, you were my ex-boyfriend.
Daryl, do you think this is the clip that we put out to the awards judges for Best Political Podcast?
So realistically, Dan Thomas is Eamon.
Sure.
And is Darren Miller still leader of the Welsh Tories?
Yeah.
Cool. So he would be Frankie.
Yeah, sure.
Or realistically, no, it would be whoever's
It's James
trying.
Evans.
It's James Evans. Sorry, James. James, I hope you're enjoying your birth. It will be James who is Eamon.
Yeah.
See, we can
You're
bring
listening
it back.
to For Wales, See Wales.
Yes, and I made that political.
You did.
Yeah.
Should we talk about something else?
Please.
It's okay, as we listen to this, Andy Burnham is, let's face it, he's going to be PM.
Sure.
Whether or not he is when you listen to this, that's the way it's going.
Sure.
So we had Drakeford on, didn't we, when it was initially announced that Starmer was stepping down.
Yeah, he stood down as Mark Draper was in the studio.
Because Mark Drakeford
and
was
that's what
here.
broke him.
Yeah.
I mean, Drakeford was giddy, wasn't he, with excitement at the idea of an Andy Burnham
Yeah.
premiership.
As giddy as Drakeford can be. Yeah.
So Burnham was been portrayed by Drakeford as someone who was going to be super good with like devolution. He was going to respect devolution. Drakeford said that he expected that Andy Burnham would follow the Gordon Brown report, which had the principle that anything that was devolved to Scotland should be devolved to Wales. Now, a couple of weeks ago, an article was published on Wales Online. This is kind of how it played out. So, as I understand it, people close to Burnham approached publications in Scotland, Birmingham, Wales and London with a opinion piece from Andy Burnham talking about devolution in that area. It got published in Scotland, it got published in London. Wales Online refused to publish it as it was because it was just really inaccurate about what devolution was.
Yeah.
So within the piece, Burnham was talking about devolution and Westminster dealing with stuff which is not devolved. So he talked about things like council house building, which is a devolved issue. He talked about business rates, which is a devolved issue. He talked about apprenticeships, which is a devolved issue. So Wales Online, as I understand it, went back to the team and said, we can publish this, but we're going to have to publish it with a disclaimer saying this is wrong.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And this was on a Monday. They didn't get anything back until, and so all week they chased it. They had other people messaging them saying, have you had a Welsh version of this column? Because it's gone out in Scotland, it's gone out in London. And so they thought, well, we haven't had anything back. We're going to publish it, but we're going to explain why this is wrong.
Good for them.
Yeah. It was a really good piece of journalism. I'm going to read what he wrote for the London Standard, and I'm going to read you what he wrote for Wales Online. In London, that feeling has its own shape. It is felt in Newham. It is felt in Brent. Croydon feels it. It is felt in towns like Barking, communities like Tottenham, and in places that have waited too long for politics to work for them. I'm going to read you a similar thing from Wales. In Wales, that feeling has its own shape. It is felt in Merthyr. It is felt in Rhyl. Port Talbot feels it. It is felt in towns like Wrexham, communities like the Valleys, and places that have waited too long for politics to work for them.
Isn't Wrexham a city?
Correct.
Yes. And also, gosh, she's good.
What in the chat GPT is that fucking nonsense?
What are they meant to be feeling?
Also, they've just replaced the words.
Yeah.
And also, isn't the whole point of devolution that we have tailored responses to different parts of the UK based on their individualised needs?
That's lazy, man.
So, as I understand it, there was no consultation with any part of Welsh Labour about this going out. Because obviously Welsh Labour, if they'd seen that, you'd expect would go, come on. I mean, someone I know said it was a gift to Plaid Cymru.
Yeah.
So he's written another one.
Good.
Which Wales Online have put out, which actually I think is...
I apologise to Merthyr. I apologise to Rhyl.
People in Merthyr can feel it.
The Hamlet of Wrexham.
So Burnham wrote another piece, and this one was better. It started by saying, my promise to Wales is straightforward. I will respect the devolution settlement. So
is that it?
that was just... That was it.
Okay. Full stop.
And I thought this was interesting. He talks about the election. He said, in Wales, and he said, one thing the election did demonstrate is that a more divisive politics isn't what the people of Wales want. People will still rally behind a progressive vision when it speaks to the place they call home. That is the lesson I took from the campaign. For Welsh Labour, it was a painful result. I know how hard so many people in the Labour movement worked in Wales. The scale of the result demands change.
Fair. That feels, I mean, it at least feels like he read a book about Wales.
But also, the fact that he said that people will still rally behind a progressive vision when it speaks to the place they call home, that's saying that Plaid Cymru had a progressive vision.
Yeah.
Like, that isn't saying we've got to wrestle this back from these evil separatists.
No.
That's kind of saying, Plaid kind of got that right, and we didn't.
Yeah.
That's a good post-mortem of what happened.
Yeah.
For Welsh Labour, I think.
Yeah.
When he said, my promise to Wales is straightforward, I'll respect the devolution settlement, like, people within Welsh Labour described the feelings around his first column as annoyance and rage. So I think this was as much to them saying,
sorry, yeah.
We sent out a generic thing in like the heat of trying to get some stuff out. We're sorry. There was a really interesting line where he said, I'll support devolution's continued development where it strengthens both Wales and the wider UK, and I'll support opportunities to extend devolution within Wales. So the first part of that says to me, yeah, I will do what Drakeford had mentioned, like that, I support the further devolution for Wales, like comparable to Scotland. That line, I'll support opportunities to extend devolution within Wales. That speaks to what he's kind of said for like areas like Greater Manchester and other areas of England, where he said, actually, we need decisions to be taken much closer to people. Local government is devolved. It's not up to any prime minister to dictate how local government and how decision making within Wales happens. It's kind of a devolved matter. I mean, I actually personally think that Wales should be less centralised to Cardiff. Yeah. I think that is something that wouldn't be a bad thing to happen. That's just my personal view. But it's not really for him to decide that. So it's interesting. I can see that being a potential point where they kind of butt heads. But if he is going to respect the devolution settlement, as he says, it's not kind of, he won't be able to say, well, actually, councils are going to do this, this and this.
We talked about, Keir Starmer having, such a huge majority and then just shitting the bed from sort of day dart.
Yeah. And
we mentioned when Mr. Mark Drakeford was on the podcast, the ability to like, well, that's the blueprint not to follow, right? So it feels like after a little bit of a misstep with that copy and paste job, that he does understand, or at least his team understand what happened in Wales and the things that can happen. But it's he can't be this sort of the mayor of Manchester across the UK. It's too much for one person to do. So I say it's a priority thing, right? My gut is telling me that Wales will just drop down the priority list.
Yeah, that does feel right. And like you say, he's the king of devolution in England, right? So, okay, he's au fait with the idea of devolution and doesn't hate it. Doesn't mean he's going to prioritise Wales.
There's a line where he said, "The UK government and the Welsh government should face down our shared challenges together, growing the economy, strengthening our energy security, improving infrastructure, supporting research and protecting our national security. The best governments work in tandem and not parallel." And that is different to walking in lockstep that they were saying before. Because actually the UK government, I think should be in charge of national security. That shouldn't be devolved. Growing the economy, I think Wales should have more powers to be able to grow its own economy, but the big levers are held by Westminster, and actually we do need them to take an interest in the Welsh economy growing. And I think most people, you'll have people in Wales who are ideologically opposed to even the idea of Westminster having any power over Wales, and you'll have some people who are completely ideologically opposed to Wales having any form of democracy or say at all. But I think most people just sit in the middle where they just want a system that works. And I think a UK and Welsh government respecting their individual competencies, but communicating about and having maybe some shared goals is, I don't think, in itself a bad thing.
Yeah. I think you just want grown-ups to be, intelligent grown-ups to be doing a good job, and everyone to feel it in their pockets and their lives. So we're recording this on Monday. So if this has happened already, I'm predicting this in advance. I think the Secretary of State for Wales, Joe Stevens, is going to be replaced. I don't. If you want a kind of attitude of kind of collaboration, she didn't have a great relationship with Eluned Morgan, and they were the same party. I don't think she's got a fantastic relationship with the current First Minister. And if you've got this spirit of collaboration, I could see her being replaced. I'd guess it would be Anna McMorrin who would do it. She's my MP.
Is she?
She's my MP.
I'm feeling a little bit confident about my reenactment of Andy Burnham.
I'm quite annoyed about this.
Bromance.
Yeah,
prediction.
it looks like it's happening. Right?
Well, we just need them to fall in love. All the pieces are in play.
Yeah.
They don't need to be in love. They can just do it.
That's how Robin does it. There's no love involved.
No love involved.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Devolve competency. Get on with it.
Just get on with it. Just intelligent people. Checking.
What, for a shared goal?
That is the end of the show.
Well, it will be interesting to see, because obviously, like we said, we are recording this on the Monday. A lot is happening between now and Thursday. Obviously, I don't think there'll be cause for us to pull the emergency app lever. But if it does, we'll do it. But I don't think it's going to, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. What are we doing next week?
Next week we're having a little bit of a celebration.
Yes.
I think we're allowed to do that, because next week is episode 100.
100, triple digits. Wow.
Under 2 years of doing the podcast,
Yeah.
but 100 episodes, because we sometimes release 2 a week because we're so good.
We did a 3 a week once, do you remember?
That was too many.
That was too much of us. It was too much for the listeners as
No
well.
one needed it.
No. Well, I will see you next week, guys. I've been Mel Owen.
I'm Robin Morgan.
I'm Will Hayward.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.